Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I am so excited to do because it is going to be another declutter. My declutter series has kicked off for 2022. I posted my foundations first and I asked what you wanted to see next, and so many of you said bronzers. Wow, that's a dagger to the heart, but this is my bronzer collection and we are going to be going in on a declutter today. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome. If you see some paws in the frame, my dog Aries is right next to me, always willing to help me out with my declutters, because this year I am definitely going hard on my declutter series. I decluttered like 80% of my foundations in my last video, so definitely check that out if you haven't yet. Let me know what you want to see for my next declutter video. I do end the series with my eyeshadow palettes, but let me know if you want to see blushes, concealers, powders, whatever it is that you want to see next. And I have been talking about how I've just been cutting back on wearing a lot of makeup. I've also just been very overwhelmed for quite some time with how many beauty products I have and how much makeup I have in my apartment and just not having enough room for them. So with this declutter series, I've been really looking forward to it because I'm not playing around. Like, we are getting rid of a lot of makeup. I want to have a cleaner home for a tidier mind and all of that. And I think a lot of you saw with the foundation declutter that I wasn't just saying that. These are actually huge makeup declutters. But I thought it was funny that so many of you requested to see bronzers because bronzers is one of my favorite products to wear. I love me a good bronzer, and I have a lot of favorites. I think that this one is going to be really challenging. With foundations, I'm just not wearing liquid foundation all that much, so it was kind of a little simpler to do. But this one, I'm looking at my collection, I'm like, oh my gosh. This is gonna be hard. So I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as I can. I probably won't swatch absolutely everything just because I do wanna get like right to the point of if I wanna keep these or not. So starting off here with one size, and I purchased this, oh, it's kind of broken. Okay, well, starting off strong. Purchased this from Sephora, and I was really excited to try it out. This is Patrick Starr's brand. I was curious to give it a shot, and I just did not like it at all. This is very sad to start with a broken bronzer. Okay, but you have 3 different shades in here. Mine is in medium. And I just felt like I could not blend this nicely. Every time I used it, I felt like it was super patchy on my skin and then just looked like I had like a chunk of bronzer that wouldn't blend out. That's how I felt about it. And I kept trying and I kept trying, and I just could not get the hang of this one. So I am going to declutter this. Honestly, this is so hard. I'm like looking over everything. I'm like, I don't even know what to pull next because my mind is just racing over like what I should keep and what I should declutter. But let me pick up a favorite of mine. This is from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer, and I have the shade 300 Light Medium. This one is a fantastic bronzer. I bought it because I was hearing so much hype about it. I ended up buying it on Amazon because I couldn't find it anywhere else at the time. It is definitely one of my most worn bronzers. It is so smooth, it's so easy to blend, it is so natural on my skin. I think that it is so beautiful. So definitely have to keep my fresh wear. Next, from Danessa Myricks, I have the Contour Balm, and mine is in the shade Light 2. This was a product that I purchased because I was really just curious about it. I have tried out just a couple of products from Danessa Myricks, and when they became available in Sephora, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a shot because I do like a cream product, a contour, a bronzer. I tend to gravitate towards creams, but this one was fine, but it wasn't something that I like necessarily lost my mind over. The shade match was okay, but not really the best, and it's just kind of one that's collecting dust in my collection. So I know that I can declutter that one. Next up, I have this one from Lawless Beauty, and this is their bronzer. I bought it from Sephora, but it didn't come with a sticker on it, which I thought was weird. But I will say that this hasn't been my favorite bronzer, and I feel like I've kept it through past declutters because I like Lawless a lot as a brand, and they don't have every single category out there. You know, they're a little bit newer, so they've been like building up their product line, and so I've kind of been keeping a lot from them as like I could do a full face of, you know, one brand and that sort of thing, or best and worst videos, but I'm trying to move out of that mindset also. I don't think people can quite realize how much makeup we tend to keep as beauty YouTubers for comparisons, which is so helpful. I just don't think I'm the most helpful at that. And again, I've been kind of cutting back on some beauty content, been thinking about starting a second channel, more lifestyle and healthy habits based. So that kind of helps with the feeling of not feeling the pressure to keep all of the makeup for these kind of comparison style videos. So I am going to declutter my Lawless. Okay, all right, this is so difficult because I'm looking at this one from e.l.f. Cosmetics and I'm like, what am I gonna do here? So this is their Forever Sun-Kissed Bronzer, and this is a really, really nice bronzer. I mean, I recommend it. I would still continue to recommend it. It's more affordable, it's very smooth. It's a beautiful bronzer. I just feel like I don't want to keep a ton in this. So just like with my foundation declutter, you know, the comments were so supportive. Thank you so much. I was a little bit nervous to post because sometimes with declutters, if you don't declutter enough, people are mad. And if you declutter too much, people are mad. So it's kind of like a little bit challenging to post. And I was like, I think people are going to be upset over how much I'm getting rid of. And there was just a few comments that were like, but if you really like that one, you know, why don't you keep it? And it's like, well, I can really like a lot of things in my collection, but it doesn't mean that I have to have 20 foundations. And same with bronzers. Like there's a lot of bronzers that I like in my collection, but I don't want to keep so many of them. And that's kind of what I think about the e.l.f. Like I like it, I would recommend it, but I know that I'm going to be keeping others that I like even more. So I am going to declutter that one. Okay, that was a little bit of a tough one. Next up I have this one here from Nars. This is a little bit of a newer product to me. This is their cream bronzer in Laguna 02. I really, really like this bronzer. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna what to expect going into it, but it is stunning. It's very smooth. It's very easy to blend. I apply mine with a damp sponge and I think that it's gorgeous. It's actually one of my most worn bronzers at this moment, and I think I'm going to really continue to enjoy it. So I definitely want to keep that one. I'm looking at my one from Makeup by Mario and I'm like, ooh, what am I gonna do here? But okay. This is the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer, and I have the shade medium. So this is basically a cream bronzer with the fancy name, but it's also a gorgeous product, and the shade match on me is really nice. It's very smooth. So Makeup by Mario released this, and then also the Skin Perfector, and this was definitely my favorite from the two. I'm gonna put it in my keep pile for right now because I think this would be one, if I did get rid of it, I would regret it because I like it and I continue to reach for it. Even after my review process, I still continue to reach for it. So if I'm doing that, that makes me want to keep it. I might have to take a look at all my bronzers once I initially get done and decide, but I think it's going to be one of those, like, I don't want to get rid of something and then feel like I could end up regretting it, you know? So I'm trying to be aware of that also. But this one I know that I can get rid of because it is definitely so old. It has to be expired in my collection. This is from Milk Makeup, their cream bronzer stick in the shade Baked. I mean, this was a beautiful bronzer. This was the first cream bronzer that I started using that I was like, wait, I really like cream bronzers. But I have had it for such a long time. I mean, you get so much product in here, but it smells a little bit funky. Like this one does have to be thrown in the trash. The majority of my products I can gift to other people. I already had so many friends who saw my foundation declutter and called dibs on certain products, which is like awesome. I love that. But there are some products that truly need to be tossed, and that would be one of them. This one here from Merit Beauty, this is another bronzer stick. So this is in the shade Clay. This I was like really excited for because I was hearing good things about it, and it's a little bit more on like the sheer side for a bronzer, which I don't mind. I like a little bit more minimal makeup, and it's one of those that like I think is just, it doesn't have enough oomph for me. Like when I put it on and I start to blend it out, it just kind of starts to blend into nothing, and I still want it to be like I want it to look like I'm wearing bronzer, but this just kind of blends away. Could be a shade match. Maybe I need a darker shade, but I feel like I have to use so much product in order to get like any sort of bronze to show on my skin. So I'm actually going to declutter that one. It's newer though. I feel like I have some people that I could pass it along to, but I don't think that I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. Okay, my gosh, this is so hard. Like literally I'm looking at my collection. I'm like, man, this is challenging. I'm looking at this one from Charlotte Tilbury, because as much as I enjoy this, I really think it just needs to be tossed because there's no way that this is not expired. This is probably crusty. Yep, she's looking a little crusty. This is the Contour Wand. A great product. Again, one of the first liquid products that I really fell in love with was not only the contour wand, but also the blush wand from Charlotte Tilbury, the highlight wand. These are so easy to use. Even if you are beginner to liquid products, these are so phenomenal. I just need to order another one of these because I do love it so much, but I know that, like, I want to keep this one because I'm like, no, I don't want to get rid of my wand, but I'm like, Samantha, you shouldn't put that on your face. Like, it definitely has to be expired. So I am going to throw that one out. That hurts, but what better time? What better time than a declutter to try to get your life together. All right, next up from Charlotte Tilbury, I have 2 more bronzers, and these are very, very expensive bronzers from Charlotte Tilbury. Don't get me wrong here. So we have the Airbrush bronzer. Both of them I do have in the shade medium. So this one here is a powder bronzer, and then we also have the Beautiful Skin, which is more of a cream. And these, I bought both of these myself. And I will say that I don't think that they're worth the price tag, honestly. These are, what, like $54 bronzers? I mean, they're huge, don't get me wrong. Like, they're huge. You are getting a lot of product, but it still just seems so expensive. I bought both of these on sale. I think one I got from Sephora and one I got from the Charlotte website, and both were like 20% off or something like that, which is definitely helpful. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, they're not my most worn bronzers, but still something about them I don't want to get rid of. It could be the price tag. It could be the nice packaging. I mean, I got rid of my contour wand. These are newer products than that. But it's one of those that, like, I do feel like if I declutter these, I'm going to regret it. And that's not what I'm trying to do with my declutter series. Like, yes, I'm trying to cut down my collection. I'm trying to say bye to things, but not to where, like, I'm going to be sad about it. You know? We don't want to be sad girls over here, okay? Looking at this one from Persona Cosmetics. So this is another bronzer stick, and this is in Dune. This is a really nice product. It's just one of those where I have multiple bronzers, I have multiple bronzer sticks, cream bronzers, and this one isn't my most reached for, so I don't think that I have to keep it around in my collection. Like, really nothing negative to say about it. I just don't need so many bronzers. So I'm gonna declutter that one. And I see some here from Colourpop. So these did get sent to me in PR, and it took me a little bit to find my right shade, which is why I have so many of these open. So this one here ended up being the shade, right? This is the one that I use the most, and this is in Albet. And we also have Get Sandy and Beachin. I was super excited for these because these are the Super Shock bronzers, and I love the Super Shock shadows from Colourpop, and I also really like the Super Shock blushes. So I just really thought that these were going to be a home run for me, and I don't absolutely love them. Like, they're fine, but I don't find them to be the most buildable, blendable bronzer that I've ever used. Again, Albet is the one that is in my shade, so my first thought was like, okay, I can definitely declutter these two and they can find a better shade match home. But just, you know, they're not a favorite. I just really don't feel the urge to have to keep these around. So I'm actually going to declutter all 3. Okay. But one that I do love, this is from the Colourpop sister brand, and this is from Soul Body. This is their bronzer balm. I have the shade Light. I have raved about this product for a very long time. Lost the like little plastic applicator that came to it, so I'm like, I wonder if this is still okay, but honestly, it feels okay. It still has that like pina colada scent to it, so I'm gonna keep that one. I really like it. It's a great affordable option. You definitely get a lot of product. One of those that I still continue to reach for, and I've had it for, I'm trying to think when these came out, maybe last summer or maybe even like last spring or something like that. I still go into it, so I don't wanna get rid of this one yet. That is going to stay. I have one here from Bare Minerals. This is the Endless Summer Bronzer in Faux Tan. This is a nice bronzer also, but again, it's not one of those that like sticks out to me. It's not one that I reach in for all of the time. It's one, when I wear it, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty bronzer, but then when I open my bronzer drawer, I don't tend to grab for it. So with the amount of bronzers that I'm already keeping, I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. One that I will be keeping is from Ofra Cosmetics. This is the bronzer that I did in collaboration with them, and this is in River. So you have more of a matte bronzer on this side and a shimmer bronzer on the other. You can mix them together. You can wear them separately. I use them as eyeshadow quite a bit, especially the matte side. I just use this as an eyeshadow, and I think that it's beautiful. So of course, I love me some River. I named it that because I grew up right next to the Mississippi River, was basically in my backyard in Iowa. And obviously one of my favorite bronzers that I still continue to wear, travel with, all the good things. I'm an affiliate with Ofra, and my code is Samantha if you're interested in picking anything up. All right, next up from Iconic London. Ooh, this is a tough one. This is their Sheer Bronze Bronzer, and I have the shade Caramel Glow. This is really pretty. It's a liquid bronzer. It's beautiful. It's a nice shade, but again, it's just one of those that as I started to blend it out, I just felt like it was kind of disappearing into my skin and I had to build it up so much. So I like it. I bought it. I see it. I want it. I buy it. I'm going to declutter it though. I haven't reached for it in a very long time, so like I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. All right, next up, I have another one here from Colourpop. So this is Summerland Beach. Nice, but again, one of those that I just don't really reach for. Like I'm trying to think when I open up my bronzer drawer, what am I grabbing for? What am I continuing to use, even if I've had it for a long time? I wouldn't say this one from Colourpop is it. So going to declutter that one. I have from Becca, this is the OG Capri Coast, and look at mine. Okay. Look at me go. I feel like I'm doing a great job. I really want to keep it because I think it would be super cool to use up a bronzer. I mean, with that much pan, like, I don't know, chances are I could do it, but I take this with me a lot, especially I did a lot of traveling in 2022 and I took it a lot with me there. Because sometimes when I'm doing videos and I link what I'm wearing, people can get frustrated if it's older products or products not in stock because they want it, they can't get it. But I wear this off camera a ton. So I am going to be keeping my Capri Coast. I have one here from YSL. I really like this one because it has my name on it. This one was a gift. And this is the, I want to say it's something Stones. The Bronzing Stones is what this one is. It's one of those that I want to keep it because again, it's got my name on it. It's engraved with my name. So I feel like I should, but I don't really reach for it all that much anymore. And I've had it for a long time too. I've had this one for several years. I feel like it's probably time that I can say goodbye to it. But again, it's just like so cool with my name on it. But again, I've had it for a long time. When I open up my bronzer drawer, I know which ones that I'm reaching for. So I think I'm going to put that one in the pass pile. Maybe there's like something cool I can do with makeup that I like don't want to get rid of, but I don't necessarily want like in my makeup collection. I don't know. Anyone have any ideas? Let me know. Next up, I have another bronzer stick. This is from LYS and this one is in Harmony. So this is their No Limits bronzer. I didn't really lose my mind over this. It's fine. I didn't think that it blended the best. I love bronzers, but I'm also quite particular with what I like and what I don't like. And this one from LYS just wasn't a favorite. I'll pass on that one. Oh man, this is getting hard. Okay, whew, you got this, girl. Next up, we have from the Balm. This is the Bronzilla. I like this one. I deal with hard pan a lot on here though. I'm kind of always going in with like a cotton ball, or you can see like some of the scratches in here from using like an eyebrow spoolie. It's beautiful when it is like popping off. Like it's a beautiful bronzer and super easy to blend, but I feel like it's just so hard to use. So I'm actually going to declutter that one. Okie dokie. Man, I'm trying to like lower my stress levels because they're still so high and these savage declutters are not helping. Next up, we have Makeup by Mario, and this is the contour stick, and I have the shade Light Medium. Oh, I hate this brush. I hate the brush, and I hate that I always take the brush off first. How that passed in production will just forever be beyond me. I like this product. I do. I've been staring at it because I like it, and I think that it's nice. We had a love-hate relationship in the beginning, and part of me wants to keep it because of that video and how funny it was and how flustered I was over this and the blush stick. But I think I'm gonna declutter it. I didn't see that coming. I really thought I was gonna keep this one just because of the memories, because it is a good product, but I have some other cream bronzers that I've kept. Like between the two, I actually really do like this one more. So it's like, do I need to keep both? I don't think so. I'm gonna do it. Again, if I feel like I'm gonna regret it, I'm not gonna do it. And I don't feel like I'm going to regret that one. Okay, all right, let's keep it moving. Haus Labs. Oh man, I'm super sad about this one. This is the Velvet Bronzer in Light Level 4. This is one that I did not find blendable. Like that's just like one of my main components of a bronzer that I need to happen because I don't like patchy bronzer, and I'm also someone who goes overboard on my bronzer all the time. So it really helps if something is more natural and smooth and buildable and blendable, because otherwise like I can go hard on the bronzer. You probably see it all the time in my videos. I can't help it. It's who I am. This one I just felt always looked really patchy. I think maybe the shade is a touch too dark for me also, but this is one I just don't reach in for it, which I'm sad because I just bought it with the rebrand and everything, but no, that one is no good. I'm gonna pass that one on. I have this one here from Milk Makeup, their Bionic Bronzer. This one is in the shade Time Travel, so again, another liquid bronzer. This was fine. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the one from Iconic London, but it's one of those that's fine. It's fine, and I don't have to keep buying. Ooh, okay, this one from Soul Body. I liked this one a lot. This is their Face and Body Bronzer. So I also had the Face and Body Foundation that I did declutter, and is also in the shade Light. This is so much product. This is so much bronzer. It's crazy. It's really nice, but I definitely like the Bronzer Balm better, for sure. I think that it's easier to use. It just feels like a little bit more manageable. I mean, this is great for like body makeup too, for sure, if you want something like that, but I just don't really, that's just not really what I'm going for. So I'm going to declutter that one. Next up from Patrick Ta, this is She's Sculpted. I really, really enjoyed this product. I continue to still go into it. The cream contour is actually my favorite, but I do also like the bronzer. I like that we get both options. I like the compact on here. It's nice to travel with. This is a really good one, so I'm definitely keeping that. Next up, we have a very expensive one. This is from Tom Ford. This is the Ultimate Bronzer in Bronze Age. I've had this one for a very long time. Beautiful. It's super pretty. It has a little bit of like a sheen. I have had some hard pan going on with it, but a nice bronzer. Again, so expensive. So crazy expensive. That's just who Tom Ford is. But I know, you know, I'm opening up my bronzer drawer and I'm not reaching for this one. Oh, it's hard. It's difficult. I'm rubbing my eye right now because I think something's in it, not because this declutter is making me cry. Hopefully it's not making any of you cry at home. But I'm going to declutter the Tom Ford. Whew, I'm sweating. I just got microneedling done. I'm not supposed to sweat for the next 72 hours. Wow, this is a bad time to make a declutter video. All right, let's keep it going. One of my favorites. Let's do something fun. One of my favorites. Here we go. Happy News, Rare Beauty, the Bronzer Stick in Power Trip. Absolute favorite of mine. It's so gorgeous. I wear this all the time. I was just wearing it the other day. I travel with it. It is just one of my absolute top bronzers in my collection. Obviously, this one is going nowhere. From Glowish, this is the Huda Beauty brand. This is the Soft Radiant Bronzing Powder in Medium. I put this in my full face of makeup I regret buying. I was excited to try it out. I thought the swirl pattern was pretty, and it's like, it's one of those that's fine. But I went through a phase over, was it last summer, that I was buying a new bronzer like every other week. I had a problem. It's just kind of like one of those that sits in my drawer. Again, it's fine. I'm sure like I have a friend that I can pass it on to and they'll like it just fine. But for me, it doesn't need to collect dust in my collection anymore. Okay, next up we have this one from Dior, and this is the Dior Forever Natural Bronze, and this is in Warm Bronze. I do like a lot of Dior complexion and cheek products. This is a beautiful bronzer, and it's one of those, again, I was just wearing it in a video probably last week. You know, I'm opening up my bronzer drawer. I'm like, what do I want to do today? I'm like, I'm gonna go for that one with Dior. I love the packaging. I think that it's just like so fancy and beautiful, and it's one of those really smooth and blendable bronzers. So definitely gonna be keeping this one. Okay, Marc Jacobs, I'm looking at you. Ho, 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 I'm looking at you, Marc Jacobs. This is the Tantastic bronzer, the Omega Bronze Tantastic. How has your girl not hit pan in this bronzer? I literally do not understand. Nothing confuses me more in life than this. Not math, not parallel parking, not men. Nothing confuses me more than how I have not hit pan on this bronzer. I'm gonna keep it. Oh, I'm gonna keep it. Did you wonder what I was gonna do here? I am determined. Your girl is determined. And guess what? With this declutter, and I'm gonna have less bronzers in my collection, maybe I will actually put this on the top again, and we're gonna try it. We're gonna really, it's a personal vendetta I now have against Marc Jacobs. He playing me. He playing me. So many people have hit pan on that so fast, and I've had mine for years. I've put it in Project Pan videos, and I still can't seem to do it. It's bizarre. All right, next up we have this one from Sigma Beauty, the Matte Bronzer in Medium. This is stunning. I wear this bronzer all of the time. It's one of my favorite releases that Sigma did this year. I feel like these don't get hyped up a lot, but I try to be their own personal hype girl, probably just for my love of bronzers. But it's so smooth. It's so easy to wear. It's so beautiful. I love this one. That one has to stay. I'm an affiliate with Sigma. My code is Samantha. Highly, highly recommend the bronzer. And then we do have the one from Jouer, and this is the bronzer duo. Mine is looking a little bit rough, clearly. I have a lot of hard pan issues on this side, which is probably why I've been able to hit pan over here, but not over here. You know, my initial thought was I'm going to keep this, but I've had it out in my collection for a while. Like, it's just kind of been sitting out. I've been wearing it a lot. And I feel like I got a lot of good use out of it. And if I want to focus on some other older bronzers, you know, the Becca Capri Coast, the Marc Jacobs, I can really kind of focus and hone in on those. I am actually okay decluttering this. I did not think that's what I was going to do. I do love this product and I think that it's great. I've had it for many years though. I feel like I got good use out of it. And that second side is just giving me a lot of troubles. So I am actually going to declutter that one and I feel okay. I feel good. I feel good. I'm sweating a little bit, but I feel good. Let me pull everything out. Let's see how I did. All right, and here we go. I am going to be decluttering 24 bronzers from my collection. And I am going to be keeping 13. Okay, I think that I did pretty good. I'm looking this over. Ooh, because I'm looking at like the Soul Body and the Nars. And I'm like, do I need to keep both of those? But I like that one's a more affordable option too. I like them both. Ooh, the Charlotte Tilbury. Yeah, no, I'm keeping the Charlotte Tilbury. No, I feel good. I feel good about this. That is what I'm going to keep, 13. Just doing a quick glance at my declutter pile. I really don't feel like any of these I will regret decluttering. So that is how we are keeping it. Boom. Another declutter is in the books. I feel really good about this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed some of my commentary because I was making myself laugh at a few points. So hopefully I made you laugh too. Let me know what you want to see for my next declutter. Do not forget to subscribe. We are doing Vlogmas here. We have a lot more declutters coming and some exciting news at the end of the month. So make sure that you stay tuned. Other than that, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.